BlizzCon is about to land upon us. Today is the day. God damn, today is the day. Much excitement. What will they say? What will be coming? What will grace our Blizzard launcher in the next year or so? What will we see? And of course, we're going to get to play ourselves some classic World of Warcraft this evening. My God, I keep checking that launcher, man, and it's like, nah, not yet. Not yet. Soon. Not yet, though. But we'll get there. It's got things saying, install the demo, install. I'm installed. I am installed and ready to go. Removal of the GCD. Do we have predictions? Diablo iOS? Seen that floating around quite a bit. Some new Overwatch characters, maybe. Some big cutscenes to come out of there. Maybe Heroes of the Storm 2. Very exciting. Diablo 2 Remaster, that seems relatively likely. Diablo 2 Remaster seems like it might be on the cards. Maybe Diablo 1, but I would imagine it's Diablo 2. Yeah, I would say Diablo 4, a new add-on 100%. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they said that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. Overwatch expansion, maybe. There are some other Blizzard games. What are they called? Hearthstone? Where are we going to go with that one? I don't know, man. Diablo 2 Remaster is an instant buy. Is it really? Mobile WoW. Console WoW. We'll see what's going on here. We'll see. Release date for Classic? Maybe. We'll get an idea of where they're actually up to with the entire game. Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, it could be Lost Vikings. It could be something along there. WoW Battle Royale. Oh, my God. Kill your raid bosses from the command table. StarCraft would be nice. Something along the StarCraft route could be good. All's been quiet as far as I'm concerned on the StarCraft front for quite some time. So it will be interesting to see if some good StarCraft 2 stuff makes its appearance. I would be happy with that. I do miss playing StarCraft. I quite enjoyed it a little bit. I would like to have seen that. Agree. Some StarCraft stuff would be nice. So we have a couple of hours until that wonderful opening ceremony is dropped on our faces. And no shaky hands Metzen. Morhaime, will he be there? Will he not? Probably not. I think they'll... He might come and say goodbye or something like that, but probably not. I wouldn't have thought so. He might not. We'll see what's going to go there. Armor dies will be nice. I don't think so. I don't think the game could support armor dying, honestly. It would be nice if they could. I've been pushing for that for a while. So, yes, we'll be there. I will be here as well. We will be streaming it. Yep. I will be streaming it. I can't re-stream it directly, but we can talk about it and stuff, so we can share into it. We're not allowed to restream it. Blizzard gets angry if you do the restream. They're not happy about that. But we will be sort of like sharing in it as it happens. So that will be happening here. It should be good. So let's have some drama. In a tribute to BlizzCon, I thought we'd have some loot drama, considering we found out about personal loot and all these kind of horrible things that came with Battle for Azeroth. We had all that action, then we can kind of have some fun with that. I think that would be a good idea. So we'll have some nice quality drama to fill our souls while we wait for the wonderful Blizzard opening ceremony to begin. Then we should casuals go Mythic. Works well. I think that should be good. It should be a lot of fun. Okay. Now, no names in this one. Warcraft 4 would be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. People have been asking that for a while. I don't know. They have a lot of properties to mess around with these days, so we'll be seeing what's going to happen with that. Yeah, the what's next is like later on in the evening. Removing Mythic. I misspelled Strum. I thank you. You did that. Mythic. Oh, did I spell wrong? Mythic. That's what happens when the casuals goes Mythic. That's what happens. You see, that's the nightmare. And also, if you're looking for something else to be playing at this morning, Call of Cthulhu is really good. We've been playing that today. We put a good 7 hours into that game today. Very cool game. Very, very fun. All right, then. Let's have some fun. Let's kick back and relax. Let's kill some time together as we wait for that opening ceremony to be upon us. This story is of a social raiding guild trying to do what they describe as casual Mythic raiding. Casual Mythic raiding. That's what we're doing. So our author is going to set the scene for us as we go into casual Mythic raiding. Sounds good. BFA had just launched. Just come out. And our guild had previously cleared a few bosses in Mythic and Taurus. Yes, they did. Progression was slow but steady. And the majority of my guildies, my team members, my friends, came out of Legion feeling like they had accomplished something. We're strong, we're powerful, we could do this. As we were all probably aware, each new tier brings with it a fresh crop of new aspiring raiders, wanting to slay enemies and get them big purple loots. Loot does matter to a lot of people. There were some bumps, though. There were some issues. Some people started to refer to 30-man raiding as being like LFR with the respect to the size, you know, because they're used to 20-man, where it's hardcore, right? 30 plus, max retardation. However, like a flower that hasn't been watered for several days, they eventually wilt and become tired of raiding. It takes too much. And eventually we were back to our 15 to 20 man member raid team. Over time we came to love the joys of heroic Uldir. But then a storm began to brew. A storm that wasn't new to the guild. We had faced this storm before. A storm which began by the raid leader, our mentor, our guide in these dark times, uttering the following. Do you think we should try some Mythic raiding? What do you think? We're clearing heroic relatively quickly. Everything looks good. Maybe we should dip our little toe into the Mythic raiding scene. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know. So let's give us a little background here. We are a social raiding guild. We have a usual mixture of abilities. In other words, when our raids finish, we have passes with people at to 94% passes, and some of our DPS with 18% pass. That's 18. 1, 8. And everything in between. And as such, there's a mixture of opinions when it comes to how we should approach, how we should gear our attitude towards Mythic raiding. Now, a group of us in the guild were nicknamed the Juicers. The Juicers. The Juicers have been regularly doing 10 plus keys throughout the weeks. We were finishing them in time. Even doing some 11s and 12s. The Juicers, the douches, the douches, straight away, you mean the douches, right? The Juicers regularly brought in the lesser skilled to plus 10 keys to allow them to get their 380 item at reset. They held out their generous, large, comforting, warm hands and said, it's okay, little one, come with us. I'll get you that box. I'll do you that favor. What a nice guy. Very, very nice. It was in our opinion that everyone who wanted to raid Mythic should at least be doing a plus 10 every week. Now, what do we think? Is that a reasonable attitude to have? If you want to go into Mythic raiding, should you be doing a plus 10 each week? Yeah. Yeah, you should. Yeah. Plus 10s if you're Mythic raiding. Plus 10 ain't that hard. It really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Plus 10 ain't that bad. You should be doing that. At least one. You should be doing at least one, right? Okay? Even if you don't do it on time, you should be doing that. Toxic. I don't think that's that toxic, honestly. If you want a Mythic raid and progression, you should probably be doing a plus 10 Mythic. Toxic. Sorry, toxic. I didn't mean to be toxic. I didn't mean it. Okay. This would give us the best chance of progression. This was suggested to the guild officers. This was met with heavy resistance. We were reminded. We are a social raiding guild. We are not method. We are not forcing players to do keys. This is not the sort of guild that we are. We do not set lines and goals for people to meet. Good. Good. Honestly, though, real talk for a minute, if you need to be told that you should be doing a plus 10 each week while progressing the Mythic raid scene, you probably shouldn't be Mythic raiding. Just gotta put it out there. If you need that to be set as a goal, if you need somebody to tell you to do that, maybe that's not for you. Just saying, maybe that's not for you. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Maybe you should want to do it as an idea. Just a suggestion. You can throw it right back if you want. Just a suggestion. Okay. So, the juicers went back to their Mythic Plus farming. Happily and heavily outgearing and outperforming the more casual players in the guild. However, over time, resentment built. The juicers set up a separate Discord that was for juicers only during their Mythic Plus runs. And the juicers channels were full of banter against the lazier players in the guild. Now, that's a cunt move. A plus cunty move. There is not much that will destroy a guild more than players making their own separate Discord to be away from the rest of the guild to shit talk the guild. Just gonna throw it out there. You might trust all of your juicers implicitly. But somebody's going to tell the rest of the guild what's going on in that Discord. I'm just going to put it out there. And even if they don't, everyone can guess. Because why else would you set up a separate Discord? Unless it was to shit talk people. There's no other reason. The excuses that the casuals had. The excuses. Such as it takes too much time, were ridiculed, considering that those players who were using those excuses were currently spending many hours per week leveling their 3rd or 4th alt, but apparently had no time for a single Mythic Plus run. The juicers started to grow tired. Tired of helping lesser skilled people with Mythic 10s. It became quickly more apparent it was a waste of our time. Instead of it being an opportunity for players who can't find their own groups to do a plus 10 key, it became a carry service. It got referred to that several times in the guild chat. And boy, oh boy, were the runs becoming frustrating. Each group on the designated carry days was comprised of 2 juicers mixed in with 3 casuals. And their casuals demonstrated their propensity for floor hugging by continuously ignoring dungeon boss mechanics, outputting measly numbers on the meters, and this meant that each and every carry run that the juicers had to do was now taking in excess of an hour for each group to run. The resentment was growing. Each and every wipe, due to the time and the effort wasted, and not only that, it was now unappreciated, nay, it had become expected that each and every week, the juicers would run everyone else through their Mythic plus 10. Is this my guild? Yeah. Eventually, the desire to keep boosting the casuals through M plus 10 each week waned, and we put a stop to our designated carry days and carry runs in total. You might be thinking that's what caused the big rift and that would be the end of the story, but it did not stop there. The resentment from the carry runs began to leach into the raid. At the end of play each week, immediately after raid finishes, all the juicers immediately switched Discord to their secret one, boasted of their passes and slammed the Affliction Warlock in the guild, who still had yet to manage on each heroic clear more than 8k DPS. Week on week, he was getting closer, but had yet to break 8k DPS. How does Affliction... I hear Affliction is actually bad DPS, though. To be fair, I've heard a rumor that Affliction is struggling right now. So... What? Are you lying? Am I wrong? I don't know. I've seen some Sims, man. These AF Warlocks are struggling big time. Around this time, the officers in the guild had begun to loathe the word juice and any mention of it. Linking damage meters was no longer allowed. If juice was mentioned, there would be an uproar each time. There were rumours of people complaining about it being said in the guild and raid chat. It quickly became apparent that some people were upset they weren't in on the joke or wanted to be a juicer. The dream is to become a juicer. The officers in the guild started to treat us with disdain, and when the word juice was uttered, sighs were heard. Until one day, a proclamation was made. It was laid out in the raid. Stop talking about juice. These were the phrases that were slammed upon us. People had clearly caught on to the fact that being a juicer meant that you were better. That you were playing your class well. And if you were not a juicer, then you were not better. And you were not playing your class well. However, as with most casuals, as you well know, they thought that we were being elitist scum. Yeah. You really are. I mean, I understand not wanting to play with bad players who never learn. I get that. Making your own separate Discord and immediately leaving the raid to join it and obviously using it to badmouth people. Yeah. That's pretty elitist, honestly. That's pretty up there. Obviously, they thought we were being elitist scum, who were only showing off their e-peens in front of these lesser players. In some ways it was. But I swear to you, and I swear to your chat, it was merely a meme. It's just a meme. That's all it is. It's just a meme. It was a meme between some good like-minded friends who wanted to treat the harder content with a pinch. Just a pinch, just a smidge. More seriousness than our overlords, who were content with letting the 18% passers go mythic raiding on the basis of, and I quote, they deserved the spot because they turn up to the raid on time. You're in. 18%, don't worry about it. You're in. You were here on time. Easy game. Easy for you. Things were starting to get heated. And the week we managed to kill Heroic Gahoon. Oh, you were still progressing. Oh, I see. You were still progressing Heroic. Okay. The week we managed to kill Heroic Gahoon, we knew that the next reset, we would have one night dedicated to Mythic raiding. We had been alerted via a Discord message that only the best of the best of the best of the best would be invited, which was great news for the juicers. However, like an ugly chick in a nightclub, things weren't always as they seem. Word spread of the choice for the Mythic roster, and there was a shocking revelation. The officers were going to sub out our best performing ranged DPS, a mage, for the Affliction Warlock. Based on two reasons. There are two reasons. One, the Affliction Warlock had not been late to a single raid. And Warlocks can do some mechanics. Gateway, though. Right? Fucking Gateway, though, dude. Big carry. Huge. Gateway. So big. So big. I fucking love it. One of the officers really disliked our mage, as he was a juicer. And he had previously voiced his anger, displeasure, with some of the people who had been brought along to Heroic Gahoon. And also, immediately after Heroic Gahoon, he had linked the damage meter in the guild. Boom! Dominoes, bitch. There you go. The night of the Mythic raid came. Here we go. And one of the healers, who was a part of the Juice Club, was late. The officers quickly decided to shuffle some people and bring in the Affliction Warlock. Rules had been laid out prior to the Mythic raid to make our raiding on progression on Mythic seem more serious. Here's the rules for serious Mythic raiding. Very serious. Bring potions and flasks. Very serious. Mythic progression, right? Potions, flasks. Big. Bring food. Important. We're gonna need it. Expensive enchants. Yeah? Very serious. And more importantly, no toys between wipes. Important. Write it down. Put it on a post-it. Glue it to your eyeballs. Right? Surprisingly, there was no mention in our very serious rules about saying the word juice or juicing. And once agreed upon, every juicer was pumped to start some real progression raiding. Now, I don't want to sound a bit big-headed, but we had already cleared Mythic Talok the previous week as part of a bonus raid night. So most of us had the tactics fresh in our mind. Talok, easy. We wiped. There were a few wipes. For some reason, despite us already having killed Mythic Talok, the raid leader decided there was a better strategy and split the elevator DPS into a ranged camp and a melee camp. Why, though? Okay. But why? Okay. And it was only after the second wipe people reminded them how we had killed it just a few days ago. Maybe we should just do it the way that we did last time, which allowed us to not be smashed all over the elevator. Talok went down. People were happy. Weapons and trinkets were being looted. Coins rolled. And then it came to Mother. Now, this is me talking now, not the storyteller. I have heard of this strategy. Apparently it's what pugs do. It sounds really boring, but apparently this is what a lot of people do. So I am aware of this strategy, although I have never done it in my entire life. But here we go. Now, we had an angry assignment. I'm back in the story now. Now, we had an angry assignment set out involving our strategy for chain healing every cooldown in the universe to get through 15 or so people within the first 15 seconds. We tried. We failed. And after 5 or so attempts, some of the casuals were getting really irritated from wiping. 5 wipes. 5 wipes. Yeah, this strat does work. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Apparently a lot of pugs do it and a lot of guilds do it now. But the idea is, this is what I could gather, and I could be wrong on this. The idea is that you, as Nick explained it to me in my guild, Nick explained it to me because he'd done it, is you send like all the raid through, but you leave the tank and a healer in the first room with the boss. Then you stand in the second room until all the cooldowns are back up, and then you run through to the next room, to the last room. And when everybody's through, you bring Mother all the way to the last room and just burn her down. That's what I've heard it works like. Something along those lines. Right? Something like that. Oh, we finished Talak. Yeah, we're on Mother. It works. Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's how it works. To me, it sounds mad boring and crazy, but it's the faster way. How is it faster than just melting her? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem faster to me than just blowing her up. It's very easy, so I'm told. Well, there you go. Maybe. But here we go. Anyway. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They tried and they failed. And after 5 or so attempts, some of the casuals who were getting irritated from wiping already started to send the messages. All right, so here you go, guys. What are the kind of messages the casuals are going to send if they're wiping? What's the messages they're going to be sending to the raid leader? And so it began. This isn't working. This is annoying. We should go and do normal and get more gear. Can we try it the normal way? So on and so forth. So to appease them, we changed the tactic. We're changing the tactic. And we're doing some steady progression by sending groups through a bit at a time. With a few attempts with everyone passing through to the second room. We got the whole raid through to the second room. Yes. However, one of the raid members disconnected and was having issues reconnecting to the game. Not unheard of in modern... Well, BFA is bugless, but it must be his internet. Now, I want you to recall that everyone in the raid team was told that there was to be no toys. It was very serious raid progression. No toys. As people wanted to listen to the instructions being given to them. That's why we're not allowed toys. Because you might not be able to hear Discord over the toys. It was during this disconnection that trouble began to brew. One of the officers, one who used to be the raid leader, decided to target one of the juicers he didn't like. The juicer in question had not said the loathed word in voice chat or in raid chat. He was waiting patiently for the disconnected member to return. Wasn't saying fucking boo to a ghost, this guy. Just chilling out. The officer in question had already begun using some toys, to which our juicer piped up. I'm not sure why we have these rules if the officers don't have to follow them. Our guild master, of course, was quick to say, guys, no toys during progress raiding. However, the officer, our toy boy officer, decided that he wasn't happy with this and wanted to target our juicer and started kicking the football toy at him repeatedly, in what can only be assumed as an attempt to trigger the juicer, to make him angry in some way. Our juicer, who had carried many of the casuals to a +10, who was a one very chill dude, had enough. Fuck this. If no one's going to listen, I can't be arsed either. Hearthstone logs the fuck off. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Nah, I don't think so. You know what? I'm done. Bye. It's alpha as fuck. There's no drama, no fuss, no rage, nothing. Just, nah, alright. If that's the way it's going to be, no worries. I'm out. I can't be asked. Laters, dudes. Easy game. It was at this point the shitstorm the size of which we'd only seen at the end of the Nighthold erupted. An argument blew up, which can only be summarised as the cliques in the guild, the juicers and the casuals going back and forth on what they want Mythic raiding to be about. The juicers wanted serious Mythic raiding. Only people who are capable of playing WoW should be here. People who could do good damage. People who could do mechanics. The casuals said we are not that hardcore. And that hardcore attitude, if it truly is hardcore to ask people to bring good performing people and not die constantly, is hardcore. But we beg to differ. And they did not like the way the juicers were treating this guild. The argument was an hour long. It culminated in the demotion of the toy-playing officer, who G-quit on the spot. We discovered this was not his first offence. Apparently he had a poor attitude to raiding since his prior step down as raid leader, and wanted to change how things were done. His actions in many of our raids had been a hindrance, perhaps out of spite that the raid was still progressing well without his leadership, which he said would not happen. Classic mistake. Oh, he thought it was the one-man army. Fine. If you're going to be this way, I won't raid lead and your raid won't go anywhere. We did fine, actually. The taint of that officer had been removed, so the guild can recover, right? We can move on to better progression. We got this. Of course not. There was still a feeling of the two sides of the coin. The juicers versus the non-juicers. Serious versus casual. Which was still shrouding our raid team. The officers sensed this conflict. They called the emergency guild meeting. A week's time. 6 days of preparation. All issues will be allowed to be raised. And we will come up with the true ethos of our guild in a clear definition. You may recall that high-performing mage who was going to be sat out of the Mythic run. If the juicers were a political party, he would be a conservative juicer. A stalwart for seriousness towards Mythic raiding, as well as jokingly being competitive towards other good players, linking damage meters. Apparently people don't like being shown they aren't at the top. The night of the meeting came. And whilst there were 20 people online in Discord, there were probably just 6 or 7 people talking. The highlights of the meeting including a vote on the guild direction for raiding. Now he sent us a screenshot. Now I'm not sure how I can show this. Hold on. I might be able to pull this off, but you can kind of see the guild name. Let me see if I can fix this. That didn't work. Rip. Why can't I... no. Can I big it? I can make it bigly. Anyway, a load of them didn't vote. A load of them didn't vote. I'd have to like edit it to get the guild names out. I don't want to do that. But hardly anybody voted. No one gave a shit. No one gave a shit. Clarification. Clarification was given on the innocence of the word juice. Even after telling people it was just a meme, some people felt that it wasn't nice to be left out of the little circle. So personal in-jokes were not allowed. In fact, the word outlawed was used. I've never been in a guild where something was outlawed. As well as this, the recent undeserved promotion of the guildmaster's boyfriend to officer without notifying any of the guild on the promotion, or what his officer role was supposed to be, was clarified. It also included a lot of other shit that we can't remember because it turned into one big cyclical argument about the guild not really wanting to push harder in Mythic raiding. But just have it as an option for people who want to try it, which is naturally going to split a guild like it did ours. And rightfully so. Do you really want to force people who don't want to be there to be there? Do you? That's not going to work. With people who want to try and kill, still putting in effort with M+ and learning their classes, and then others who are more casual. Ultimately, the vote on whether the guild should push harder was 68%. Stay casual. 32% push harder. A guild meeting had concluded with all concerns aired, but no conclusions or plans for the future. The contention between juicers and casuals continued. This whole fiasco concluded the next reset. The raid team handedly cleared Heroic all day, and the option to kill Mythic Talok was brought up. Having used Feast the whole night for an easier clear after the first silly wipe to Talok, the officers called out for the use of personal food. Conservative Juicer was not pleased. He began to question this decision, as the guild had no better use for feasts. No feasts. Mythic raiding had otherwise been put on standby following the guild meeting, and better feasts would be arriving in 8.1 for the raid team to use. Is that true? I had no idea. As previously mentioned, the officers had taken a dislike to this juicer, as he had a tendency to voice concerns. What a prick. Keeps bringing up problems. What an arsehole. The raid ended when we killed Mythic Talok with our personal food. And the juicer was dragged into the officer channel for a chat. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. He was in the officer chat for an hour. And after this hour, he was kicked from the guild. The officers said it was irreconcilable differences, like the divorce papers from your first wife. Of course, this was the trigger. This was the spark. As the juicers started to leave. They left the guild one by one en masse to greener pastures. A couple have stayed behind for friends, having remained friends with the casuals and not being too concerned about mythic progression, but being good enough to do it anyway. The conflicts in the guild seemingly resolved. All is well for now they've left. The remaining juicers are content with heroic raiding, while also doing some rated PvP in the usual +10 for the weekly cash. However, let this be a warning to everyone out there in raiding guilds looking to make the leap to Mythic. Casual remains and will always be casual. And if you have an ounce of desire in you to kill some bosses, don't try and force them into it. Who knows how long this will last? No doubt a similar situation will arise in 8.2. And like the Tortollans say, the cycle of Mythic raiding can be cruel. Why would you use Feast on... How dare you want to use Feast on Talok Mythic? But we used it on Talok Heroic. I have a question about this feast situation. We used them on Talic Heroic, but not on Talic Mythic. It didn't end all that bad. It's a good reminder, though. You can't force people to play at that level. You can't do it. You can't do it. If they don't want to do it, it's just going to be a fucking nightmare. And this is what happens. Your guild just, like, rips itself apart. And please, for the love of God, don't form separate discords for the better players. Don't do that. Don't do that. Knobs. You're not that special. Believe me, you're not. You are not that special. Ain't no way, ain't no how. Just kick the shitters. You just mad you're not in our good Discord. It may be. Maybe. That's what it is. I'm mad. I'm not in the good player Discord. Feels bad, dude. Feels real bad. It really does. I wish I could get into the good Discord. The good Discord sounds very awesome. I wish I was there. I really genuinely do. I don't at all think it's retarded. In any way, shape, or form. Demel, we're in. Right, we need an IRL friend. An arsehole. Who's going to be the arsehole? Let's have Rainberg. My wonderful trip to Holland. And a DK tank with a preferably edgy name. Who's edgy here? Tree. Very edgy. I like it. We'll go with that. I'm an arsehole. I'm an arsehole. I'm an arsehole. Choose me. What's better than being a different Discord, creating invisible channels and set certain people to use it? It's especially good. It's especially good if you're in... there is something worse than having the separate Discord that you disappear off to, and that's being in a separate one at the same time as your current one. Happened in my last guild, and accidentally keying up in the wrong voice chat. Yeah. Yeah. That's got to be an issue. Okay. You might remember our hero. Been there, done that. Yeah. Yeah. Especially when we all know it's happening and then you accidentally do it and don't you look like a silly goose. Okay. I am a returning author. A while back, you read the story of how I suffered through a 7-hour pug run of Emerald Nightmare. Some of you may remember that horror story. After you read my story, I decided to try and find a guild that could deal with my shitty work schedule. And I did find one. There's plenty of drama been told from my time with those guys, but that's not what I want to tell you today. Today, I want to regale you with the tale of the guild I cleared Antorus Heroic with. But for the story to make sense, a couple of details. After the first guild I mentioned fell apart, I hopped around between guilds for a while, until an IRL friend called Demel invited me to join him on his server with promises of gold, riches, loots, and a spot in his guild. Of course, them IRL friends have got all the connections. I decided I'd go for it. How bad could it be when it has an IRL friend's stamp of approval? Pretty bad, actually. Pretty fucking bad. This guild ran with Loot Council, consisting of the officer team and the raid leader. Seeing as Demel was an officer, you would think there would be some favoritism going on. No! Who are these Loot Councils, you bunch of wankers? Who spoiled it? Why were you fucking over people? There was favoritism going on. Just not in the way that you think. I joined the guild a few weeks before Antorus released. And those few weeks were completely normal. Nothing to comment on. These people were nice enough, and based on how well managed and proper the Discord server for the guild was. What a well-maintained Discord server. I think we're in a good guild here, boys. It seemed to be a real guild. But looks can be deceiving. Antorus releases. When we first started clearing Antorus, the shit hit the fan. Our Loot Council was effing corrupt, which shouldn't come as a big surprise, really. It is to me. It is to me. They looked after their, what were considered senior raiders first. How do you become a senior raider, you might wonder? Is it based on time in the guild? Is it based on kills? On progress? Turning up on time, maybe? Nope. To be a senior member of the guild, you had to have been with the guild since it started in Final Fantasy XIV. That feels a little unfair. You don't even play that game anymore. I feel like I don't have much of a chance on this one. Loot was distributed to these people first, even if the decisions didn't make any sense. By the time we get to the actual story, we were a few weeks past Antorus released. We had cleared normal in the first 2 nights, and since then we've been working our way through heroic, all the while doing a weekly clear of normal for set pieces and whatnot. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, can we get the Fs ready? Our sad Pepes. At this point in time, I was in possession of a single piece of tier 21. F for not having 4 set. And F for tier sets in general. And not only that, that piece, that singular piece of tier gear, I got from a bonus roll. It's alright. It's better now. It's better now. We fixed it. Through all these weeks of clearing both normal and most of heroic, I had not received a single piece of tier 21 gear from our beloved council. Even though it would have given me the 2 set bonus. Here are some of the excuses as to why, after weeks, I hadn't got 2 set bonus. 4 set is more important. If we give you this piece of your 2 set, you might have to swap away from your current legendary setup, and that might be a DPS loss. But it's not. Might be. It isn't though, but it might be. Best we give this guy 4 pieces instead of yours, because it might be. And my favorite one, we understand that this would be your 2 set bonus, and this will be the other guy's 3 pieces of loot. But we want him to have a chance to get 4 set soon. You can't have 4 set without having 3, you dumb bastard. Isn't it pretty easy why you're not getting 2 set? Listen, how the fuck are we supposed to give my mate 4 set if he hasn't got 3 pieces? You haven't even thought about this. Really? It's pretty fucking obvious when you spend 2 seconds thinking about it. Idiot. At first, I didn't mind not getting loot. I didn't mind. It's not why I play the game. Whatever. It's tier. We'll get it eventually. But over the time, the excuses they were giving were just getting worse and worse. And it just started to fucking play on my mind. We had cleared up to Coven. We had cleared up to Coven with plenty of time to spare to try to get through them and continue with our current progress, our Grammar Heroic. We had beaten Coven Heroic once before, but a lot of people in our raid team struggled. The RNG rotation of those Titans. I'm not saying I was the perfect player, but I held my own. I dealt with the random order without any major problems. However, this was not good enough for Rainberg. Rainberg is a rogue like me. The only difference was that Raidberg played sub, I play assassination. And whenever we raided, before every fight, he would whisper me, "You should be playing sub, mate." Excuse me, the Mythic Raiders are playing sub. Why are you playing assassination, though? The logs say you should be playing sub. Excuse me, you're going to play sub on this fight? No. All right. Excuse me, though, are you going to play sub on this fight? What about this one? Should be playing sub. Mate. Sub, though. I told him repeatedly, I enjoy assassination. It doesn't matter. I'm usually one of the top DPSs. I beat you on DPS. He was a fucking arsehole to deal with at the best of time. But this particular raid night, I was tired. I did not have the patience for his bullshit. I was not the only victim of Rainberg, though. Rainberg, you see, is pretty sure. He's checked. He's double checked. He's a god at this game. He knows better than everyone else, no matter the class or the spec, because he has a Warcraft Logs account. And so, Rainberg would regularly dispense advice. Advice that nobody asked for. But he was helping, you see. I got the most of it, seeing as we were both rogues. An example of this would be when our warrior had to heroic leap to a spot close to me for his own survival, which trapped me between me and him, and the lightning titan was up. And a whirlwind from the boss moving towards me. My cloak was on CD, so I tried sprinting through it while spamming feint, but it wasn't enough to keep me alive. Hellstone, dickhead. That pull ended in a wipe. And the second the wipe was called, Rainberg hit me with the ping. Your fault. You caused that wipe. Why didn't you use cloak? Why didn't you use cloak, though? I told him the cloak's on CD because I had to pop it to save myself at an earlier point. Don't think it was, mate. There's no reason to have used cloak before that point. I'm pretty sure my cloak was off cooldown, so yours should have been off cooldown. Pretty sure you're lying, mate. That's what's going on here. You should have used cloak. Needless to say, by the time we actually managed to kill Coven, I was in a bad fucking mood. The shoulders dropped, but as per usual, I didn't get them even though it's still my 2 set. The reasoning this time, though, was that it would give Demel his 4 set. Fuck it. I didn't expect to actually get them anyway. I thought to myself and just tried to drop it, but it still added to my bad mood to see somebody else get a 4 set, and I still do not have a 2 set. Whatever. Fine. Let's keep going. So we've cleared Coven and are now looking at Agramar. Roles are assigned, CC the ads, blah, 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 blah. World marker is placed, the corresponding marker over the heads of people responsible for the CC. Now, seeing as the ads don't always spawn in the exact same place, our raid leader said that if ads spawn between the markers, we should move to the left. Or, if you like, we should move to our left or counterclockwise on the platform. Which one is it? Yeah, counterclockwise, yeah. Can we remember this? We're going left. Wait, no, that's not right. Are we looking outwards or inwards? I'm really confused. Just say one. I'm so confused. Are we looking outwards or inwards? If I'm looking outwards from the middle, it's the same direction. If I'm looking inwards, though, do I move to my left? I don't know. Which way are we going? Outwards, then. Maybe we should move inwards. How about you use your fucking head? I've never had this problem in any of our heroic pugs. It's easy game. Anyway. The raid leaders put me, me and Rainberg next to each other. Him being to my left at all times. Now, Preacher, I have to tell you, it seems like telling left from right is really hard for some people. It is for me. I'm not sure what you're doing. I would have asked. Now, Rainberg, even after clarification, apparently, is one of those people. After the first few pulls where the ads didn't land on the markers, I started getting whispers from Rainberg. I was doing it wrong. And it was costing him DPS. And he's playing sub, and he can't afford that. My patience was running on fumes, so I just tried my best to ignore him. In the next few pulls, the ads didn't land exactly on the markers, and so the whispers kept going. By the time we killed Agramar, he was flaming me about how shit I am at the game, and that I had ruined his logs. I'd had enough. I'd had enough. So I just whispered back. You need to stop whispering me. We were told to go left. I went left. If you can't tell left from right, that's nothing to do with me. As for your DPS loss, that's also not on me. You're playing sub. You have 2 charges of Shadow Step. Even if I was doing it wrong, you could Shadow Step to the ad that needs to be CC'd and then immediately Shadow Step back to the fight with no downtime. Do not fucking whisper me again. Needless to say, he did not appreciate this shit. But he couldn't come up with a good response, so he just said back, you doing it wrong. I just couldn't be asked to deal with it. You're doing it wrong. Right? Nice paragraph of words, mate. But you doing it wrong. No. You doing it wrong. Don't even reply, though. You're doing it wrong. I just couldn't be asked. I told him that if he still has an issue, talk to the officers. Leave me the fuck alone. He told me I was doing it wrong, and then he put me on ignore. I relayed what had just happened to my IRL friend and told him we either have to have a word with Rainberg about his behaviour or pass the matter on to another officer or the raid leader. Because that is not the kind of environment that anybody would want to be in. Sadly, at the time, I was so pissed off, it never occurred to me to take screenshots of the whispers. In hindsight, I kind of regret not thinking of it. And as a side note, he never did either of those things, even though he agreed with me and promised he would take care of Rainberg. Oh, his IRL friend, the officer, never even dealt with it. While all this was going on, though, of course, Agramar is dead on the floor. It's loot time, baby. The tier helm had dropped, and I had rolled on it, thinking it was mine for sure. There was only me and the DK tree from earlier, rolling on the shoulders from covered, and he had got them for his 4 set. How can I miss it this time? Wrong. I got a whisper from the raid leader. Could you pass that helm, please? Why? Why? Of course there was a reason. You see, Tree has a low item level helm. He would like the item level upgrade. Your helm is higher than his. So I think he should have it. At this point, I just lost my shit. I told the regular I've not had a single tier piece given to me by this loot system. He has 5! 5! And there is no way that I am passing on 2 set bonus for somebody's item level upgrade on an already tier piece. On top of that, Tree had recently made a post in the guild Discord that he would probably have to leave the game in a few weeks because of RL, and he wasn't sure when he was coming back. The raid leader just didn't respond to me. A few minutes passed, and then in raid chat, the council announced the loot has been distributed and it's time to go to Argus. There was no loot in my bags. I was so angry I was shaking. I stayed in the raid until we killed Argus. It only took a few pulls, and I immediately left the second he dropped. Didn't even stick around for the looting. I wouldn't get anything anyway. And this was the last raid I was doing with that guild. My subscription was running out, and I decided not to renew for a while. You're probably asking why I would ever stay in that guild for weeks and weeks and weeks without getting this 2-piece bonus. The truth is, most of the guys were fantastic. And by the time the corruption started getting to me, we were close to clearing heroic. I was already planning on taking a break then. I figured it wasn't fair for me to join a new guild for Argus and then leave. Since then, I've transferred my rogue back to the server where I started off, going back home. When I came back, I started playing my hunter to get the mage tower done. Rip F. Maybe in about an hour's time we'll find out about new mage tower. Be pretty good. And during the gearing process, I realized how much I'd missed my hunter. I found a new guild that feels good for me. My hunter is geared to the fucking teeth, and the mage tower has been completed on all 3 specs. Meanwhile, my rogue still hasn't gotten his 2 set. He still sits there with the 1 piece. And nowadays, I only ever log that character when I need gems or enchants or food. I can't stand playing it anymore. I hope you enjoyed my little story. As a side note, I just wanted to say that even though I've been through this shit, the very thing that Blizz used as motivation, I still hate forced personal loot. Brother! In arms! If there's interest, I said the story of the first guild I joined where I found the closest friend I've ever had and the drama that took place that got me an officer spot and loot master before that guild died. That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. Ladies, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. 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 Is Classic live? No. They're playing it at BlizzCon. Boo! 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 Watching the folks jump into 2004's hottest new MMO and promptly start looking for the instant quest text interface option is going to be great. Boo! Boo! Boo it is. BlizzCon is an hour out. I'll be back. We're going to take a quick break. And, well, I've been sat here all day. So, yeah, we've been going for quite a long time, I think. How long have we been up? I don't know how we can... how do you tell it? Is it that one? Something like time. Time, something like that. But yes, we will be back for that. I'm going to take a quick break and we will be back for BlizzCon and hopefully Classic. Hopefully Classic in about an hour's time. Yeah, we've been going for like 8 hours and 40 minutes. We're going to take a quick break and then we will be back in charge. But thank you so much for being here for Drama Time. I look forward indeed to BlizzCon opening up in the next hour. I will see you then, ladies and gentlemen. Be good. Go and get a drink, and then I'll be back. All right, boys? See you later. Bye-bye. Where's the mute button?